Welcome to BTV News Hour. My name is Angelina Mambo and it's Wednesday, the 29th of June 2016. I will be reporting the most interesting news from newspapers all over the world. And let's start with the first headline. From Punch newspaper Nigeria, Naira falls to 351 per $1 at black market. The Naira fell to 351 to the United States dollar at the parallel market and slightly to 282 at the new interbank market on Monday. Following the floating of the Naira and the adoption of a single structure through the interbank autonomous window, the currency closed last week at 281 to the greenback at the official market. The president of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, Alhaji Aminu Gwadabe, in an interview with Punch correspondent, said the Naira dropped to 351 at the parallel market from between 346 and 348 due to persistent liquidity issue. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday said he did not see any benefit that Nigeria could derive from the devaluation of the Naira. This is despite the implementation of the flexible exchange rate policy, which has somehow led to the devaluation of the nation's currency. The president also said he was not comfortable with the report he was getting from the Central Bank of Nigeria for the devaluation of the currency. More Niger Delta group stands on referendum. That's the headline from Vanguard newspaper Nigeria. Niger Delta Security Watch Organization of Nigeria, Ijaw Human Rights Monitors and Ijaw People Development Initiative yesterday insisted on a referendum to ascertain if the various ethnic nationalities of Nigeria were still willing to stay together as one country. The president of Niger Delta Security Watch Organization of Nigeria, Dixon Bekederemo, and coordinator of Ijaw Human Rights Monitors, Fred Brizibe, in a statement after an interactive session, said that referendum had become imperative to redefine the controversial matrimony of the various ethnic groups considering the increasing number of insurgent movements in the country. National President of Ijaw People Development Initiative, Austin Ozobo, said President Muhammadu Buhari should order a referendum before the country goes the way of Sudan and other countries. We still have another interesting headline from Vanguard newspaper, which reads as follows: Labour spoils for war with Okorocha. The national leadership of the Nigeria Civil Service Union and the Imo State branch of Association of Senior Civil Servants are spoiling for war with the governor Rochas Okorocha-led Imo State government over the compulsory leave claimed on the 6 management staff of the State Board of Internal Revenue, including the establishment chairman Mr. Onunaku. Labour is of the opinion that the state government action grossly violates both public service rules and labour rules. APC serious battle within the party continues. Buhari and Saraki in war of wars. That's the headline from the Premier Times Nigeria. The news reads as following: President Muhammadu Buhari and the President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, on Monday kicked off an open war of words following the arraignment in court of the Senate President and his deputy, Ike Ekweremadu, for alleged forgery of the rules of the upper legislative chamber. Saraki and Ekweremadu were charged for alleged conspiracy and forgery of Senate standing rules with which the Senate presiding officers were elected and inaugurated on June 9, 2015. Both were granted bail by Justice Yusuf Haliru of the FCT High Court after meeting the conditions. Mr. Saraki was the first to fire a salvo at the presidency when he, shortly after leaving the court, alleged that a government within government had effectively taken control of the Buhari administration. Before the open confrontation, both the president and the Senate president has largely used proxies in the titanic political battle that has dragged on for over a year now. In the other side, the presidency has dismissed insinuation by Senate President Bukola Saraki that President Buhari was operating a government within the government. This is contained in a statement issued by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, and issued to newsmen on Monday in Abuja. The Premium Times newspaper, Nigeria, has officially confirmed the sack of Okezie Ikpeazu with this headline: Court sacks Abia Governor Okezie Ikpeazu. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has annulled the election of Governor Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State. The court also ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to issue a certificate of return to Samson Oga, a member of the People's Democratic Party, who contested the governorship ticket with the governor. The court held that Mr. Ikpeazu was guilty of tax evasion and was therefore unqualified to have contested the 2015 governorship election in the state. The court also ordered the governor to vacate office immediately and hand over to Mr. Oga, owner of Mystery Energy, who came second in the PDP governorship primaries in Abia. Mr. Ikpeazu is yet to comment on the judgment. We are agitators, not terrorists, Niger Delta Avengers blast Mohammed. Just a few days ago from Vanguard newspaper, we've reported that Junaid Mohammed said that Niger Delta Avengers are terrorists and should be treated like Boko Haram. Well, from the same Vanguard newspaper, Nigeria Today, the Niger Delta Avengers lambasted Second Republic lawmaker and northern politician Dr. Junaid Mohammed for asking President Muhammadu Buhari to treat them as terrorists, saying that they were agitators and not terrorists like Boko Haram insurgents. Spokesperson of one of the groups, Niger Delta Set Commandos, self-styled Major Osama Blatter, also denied claims that politicians were funding Niger Delta freedom fighters. The group said, and I quote, "We commend Junaid of remembering that Boko Haram is a terrorist group, but we want to unequivocally tell the ethnic bigots that we are just agitators and not terrorists. Our activities and Boko Haram cannot be compared." Talking about terrorists, our last headline from Punch newspaper is terrorists disguising as hunters. We have seen Boko Haram terrorists in Nigeria disguised as Fulani herdsmen and Nigerian army and police. Now the latest news has it that the Nigerian Defense Headquarters has raised the alarm that the members of the Boko Haram were disguising as hunters and vigilant members to evade being detected as insurgents. The Acting Director Defense Information, Brigadier General Rabia Bubakar, said in a statement on Monday that insurgents who had been smoked out of the Sambisa forest has resulted to dressing like hunters and vigilantes, so to not being suspected by the public. I want to say something before signing off. When we are talking about Biafra, many Nigerians and their politicians really doesn't understand how far Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB leadership has taken this struggle to. They don't know that most of international media and politicians and even the ordinary people across the globe are already addressing us as Biafrans and calling our nation Biafra, and not Southern region in Nigeria or Southerners in Nigeria. That's really amazing. I know our viewers might be wondering why am I saying this. It's because I just came across a headline from an Italian governmental media which says, obviously it's in Italian language, but after reading it in Italian I will translate it. The headline reads as following: 2016 I 5 nuovi stati che potrebbero nascere, meaning the top 5 nations that might emerge in 2016. The Italian top governmental media called Il Fatto Quotidiano Italy in 2016 has made a list and ranked 5 possible new states that will soon emerge and appear on maps, Atlantics, and on the desk of big brains of Google Maps. The 5 states listed are Catalonia, Donbass, Kurdistan, Oromia, and Biafra. Now I'm going to read the article in Italian, so our viewers, please bear with me. I will translate immediately after. The Italian article reads as following. Il popolo indigeno del Biafra, IPOB, hanno lanciato una nuova campagna denominata Biafrexit per l'indipendenza dello Stato del Biafra. Se questa piccola nazione, ma ricchissima di petrolio, raggiungesse l'indipendenza, sarebbe un caso di ritorno tra le nazioni e il collasso della Nigeria. Now the English translation of this article that I just read says, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, have launched a new campaign called Biafrexit for the independence of the state of Biafra. If this small but very rich in oil nation gained independence, that would be a return case between nations and the collapse of Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us here on BTV News Hour. I'll be back next Monday. Thanks for watching.